this. If he respects Thendro, she rewards Olganth. If he tries to oppose her champion, she'll humiliate him by no longer supplying him with her power at a critical moment. Okay. Sounds good. Melian patiently waited for Olganth's arrival, intent to see if he would back Thendro or not. Now, do we have anyone here? Nice. Just looking it up myself. Here, I'll drop that on there as well. Why not? Tyrian purple. Pardon if I pronounced that wrong. Okay. So, do we have anyone in the chat who would like to take on the role of a character? Because we do have now Olganth making an appearance, and it might be relevant to see what he decides to do. Feel free to say hi if you're interested. Otherwise, we'll just put it up to a randomizer. Chicken with rabies, that's so much water. I, unfortunately, am empty on water, so I think I'm going to run and grab a glass. I won't be live for too much longer, guys. I'm going to do. I'll grab some water. I'll come back. We'll figure out this confrontation with Olganth, and we might wrap up there. Oh, that's fine. Only you missed a little apostrophe, but that is not at all an issue. Otherwise, all the right letters. Sure. So, guys, I'll be like 2 minutes just getting some water, and then we'll figure out this confrontation with Olganth and see what happens. And then we'll see. Maybe I'll read one of the Lives of Gethra chapters just to wrap up. A little chill. But yeah, awesome. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. 2 minutes. I'm back. Also, Chicken with Rabies, you suggested the name Olganth. You put the apostrophe there. Pretty sure, anyway. It was either you or Bobicus, so hopefully I'm not wrong, but I think... yeah. Awesome. All right. Okay, so, Dan LVP. Let's spell out, let's get you up to speed with what's going on here. So, Olganth is the kind of a self-appointed cult leader who has seen old Sparapatane, who used to be the cult leader, kind of lose his mind. And then he appointed this guy Thendro to take over. But Thendro is not a magician. He's not, he's just a faithful man that Barapatane chose, but we don't really know, and Barapatane was always a little off. So Olganth presumably saw fit to take power because he didn't believe Thendro would make a good leader. And now he's, essentially sent Thendro away from the city, kicked him out. He has connections within the city to the the government of the city itself. And now Olganth is, received summons that Meliam herself has appeared, the kind of cult figure that was always just a figurehead. But apparently Meliam herself has appeared and is demanding that Olganth come to face her and her champion and show his loyalty. Thendro? I thought that we had rolled that he wasn't either. But let me just zoom out here and I'll just take a look for you. Yeah, no, we rolled that he isn't. Is Thendro a magician? And we rolled no. I imagine that it was a bit of seizing an opportunity. Dan LVV. It would have been like there's enough people backing you that you were able to make this work. So there's certainly some people who weren't necessarily happy with Thendro, or they weren't happy with Barapatane, or they just liked Olganth more. So, but it was your own initiative. It was not it was Olganth's doing, not not other people kicking him out, and then turning to Olganth. But anyway, yeah. So just some options that I can think of off the top of my head is, he could hunker down and just kind of defend because he's in Ith. It's got massive walls. He's got lots of powerful magicians under his employment, like a fair bit. So he could, be a little worried about this, or maybe he thinks Thendro is just scheming and this is a ploy, and goes and calls him on it. Or he could, run for the hills. Put his own preservation first. Kind of put you into the role of a character who's got some heat on him right away, eh? The other thing too, I'll tell you guys, just everyone who's hanging out, it's not like if you take on the role of a character, we're not a huge channel yet or anything like that. So if that character doesn't last long or doesn't play a big role, there's always going to be room for you to take on another. I think Babakis has 2 characters because he's been here just quite often, and yeah. And yeah, so there's always don't feel bad about whatever your character gets up to. You'll still have left a little mark on the world of Gethra. Go ahead and create a new character, and this is going to be Olganth. Olganth is a self-proclaimed Chicken with rabies. That's not nearly enough apostrophes. No, I'm kidding. Thanks for the names as always. Olganth is a self-proclaimed leader of part of the cult of Meliam in Ith. Out of world details. And Dan LVV, are you cool if we list you here on the page and everyone can see your role? I always like to ask. Maybe people don't want their username out there, but Olganth decided. Sweet. I'll drop that on there. Dan LVV. Oops. Olganth decided. Let's see here. Stick around and try to challenge Thunder's position as a loyal follower of Meliam. Okay. So he's kind of like, is Thunder actually that loyal to Meliam? And of course, Olganth himself could be very devout. He doesn't know that Melium's actually back yet. All right, so Olganth decided to seek out or to accept these summons, doubting that Thendro is doing anything more than a ploy, or if there was merit, that Olganth would prove to be the better follower. Okay. So I imagine then that Olganth shows up. We've got Thendro, Olganth, and Melium, and there are groups of followers in this big kind of tense showdown. And does Melium, what is Melium's approach? If we can get just some friendly competition. Don't worry about it, guys. But yeah, games with Kitty. Does Melium, have any demands to see what will happen? Some way to test their loyalty, or does she just expect? Has Melium already decided that Thendro is the champion, and Olganth had better fall in line? Outside of Elkar, the group of followers and competitors confronted. Yep. Who can convert the most people in the next 10 minutes? Go! I wonder if we lost Chicken with Rabies. Or, sorry, no, I meant Games with Kitty. Or they're thinking. While some may suggest... Oh, so she was intensely grateful that Olganth was loyal to her, so much that he put the cult first before anything else. I was hoping to turn him into Thendro's second in command. Okay. So, Daniel Vivi, does Olganth accept this command to answer to Thendro? Or will he protest it? Or perhaps he accepts it but resents it, and will always keep an eye out for weakness. However, seeing him doubt Thendro even after the manifestation of the wonder, she scolds Olganth. He's many things, but not a fool. Okay. For now, he'll accept it while he buys his time. All right. So he still doesn't believe that Thendro's a great leader necessarily, or a great champion. Or rather, he may just think that he's a better one. Plotting murder. Now, guys, we're all members of the guild here. We don't murder each other. I'm just kidding. It's the story. Yeah, he believes he's better. Okay, cool. In self-interest, he genuinely believes he is best for the cult. Plotting an accident. Well, we did have an accident plotted last time. If we don't go for a whole stream of World of Gethra without someone plotting an accident, then have we accomplished anything at all? Alright, the Olganth would prove to be a better follower. Outside of Elkar, the group of followers and competitors confronted. Olganth pledged his loyalty to Melium when he saw the truth of her power. However, Melium instructed him to report as Thendro's second in command. Whether that belief is founded, yeah. We'll have to see. All right. We'll also note that I think I'll note that kind of internal kind of dialogue more on Olganth's page rather than on the historical page, because we wouldn't necessarily know. The history books wouldn't know what Olganth was thinking, just what he did. So we'll add on here when forced to answer to Thendro by Meliam herself, Olganth still believed he would make a better champion and waited for opportunities to prove it or arrange it. All right. Meliam is going to keep a close eye on them both to see who is worthy of being her consort for sure. Whenever they succeed, she manipulates the other with subtle praise and plays them against each other. Great. This fits with the cult so far. It's been very manipulative, and I think Meliam fits as its ruler. So let's go over to, do we still have that open? Olganth, the spread of Meliam, the cult of Meliam. Let's go back to articles here and take a look at Meliam herself. And this would be another thing that we're going to put down just on Meliam's page. Meliam is a sorcerer of great power who was from this date to this date. Okay, we'll just add those in. These pages will probably get more well organized further along. I'm just kind of jotting down the important stuff for now. So Meliam, after arranging Thendro and Olganth as her subordinates, Meliam kept a close eye on them and manipulated the dynamic so that they would always attempt to surpass one another. Okay, we'll have to see what comes of that next time, I think. All right, I think we're going to wrap up here, guys, at least for the interactive world building stuff here. These story segments are great, but they are a little draining as we get through them all. And I think it's better to have them kind of as in episodes. So we'll continue the story of Meliam next time we can get you guys together. Yeah, no worries. This is fun. Be sure to hit follow if you'd like to know when I go live next time. Otherwise, you can also follow me on Twitter or YouTube and check out my content. I just upload everything straight over to YouTube from here. So yeah. And yeah, it would be great to see you guys around next time. Oh, thanks for the follow. Awesome. Before we close out, I'm going to read a chapter of The Lives of Gethra just for the podcast. Just a nice way to kind of close things off, I think. Do something a little different. You feel free to stick around, guys, if you want. Otherwise, the podcast is available on Spotify and a few other things. It's a little bit more kind of scene-by-scene story oriented and a bit more like a fantasy book. So. But yeah, feel free to check it out if you'd like. And otherwise, if you gotta check out now, it's been nice chatting with you guys. Awesome as always.